I'm Susan Morrice, and originally, as you can hear, from Ireland, born in Belfast, and went to Trinity College in Dublin, studied natural sciences actually, and specialised in geology. Then, how did I end up here? By the way, I'm very, very honoured to be in this position, just even being given a chance to lead such an organisation as the AAPG. But I was graduating from Trinity, and an American oil company was looking for geologists. And luckily enough, got hired. And so the journey took me from Belfast to Dublin to Denver, where I've lived and joined actually the AAPG that very first year I arrived, which was 1978, as a wee geologist, and was taken under the wing of a couple of older geologists, men and women. One was Robbie Grease, another was Jeannie Harris, who sadly just passed away. And they said, join this organization. This makes sense. The American Association of Petroleum Geologists. And I did. When I was a little girl, our family, it was a tradition every Sunday, the family, and I mean the big extended family, grannies, aunties, cousins, we all used to jump in the old-fashioned cars. Ours was a Morrice Oxford. It was like a big box. And we used to drive north from Belfast up to the Giant's Causeway. Now, who could fail but be a geologist when you have a picnic on the Giant's Causeway? It's a big tertiary plateau basalt, and it's dried in columns, and it looks like a fascinating old castle at the sides of it. And we used to have our picnic on those rocks, and there were like lots of little seats, and I would be dancing around those rocks in wonderment at Mother Nature. And when I found out it could be a real job, that's what I went for, geology. When I first arrived from Ireland to Denver, as I said, I was taken under the wing of some AAPG members, and that was 1978. Now, the very first things I remember were great field trips up to the Montana overthrust, Bozeman and places like that, which were cool, and great ways to get to know, firstly, the Rocky Mountains. I mean, imagine a geologist landing in the Rocky Mountains. I got a Rocky Mountain high, just like John Denver. One of the most amazing times with me and the AAPG was I'd been traveling around as a young geologist around the world, consulting, and I'd see all these opportunities. And I'd go back to Denver and even Houston, and there were lots and lots of geoscientists out of work. And I thought, this doesn't make sense. You've got all these opportunities around the world, and yet my friends, my pals at home didn't have jobs. I thought, how can I get them all together? And as life would have it, and I do think life's always on our side, Robbie Grease, who was the incoming chair of the convention in Denver in 1994, this was the year before, she approached myself and Roger Slatt and asked us, would we be the head of the international for the convention? And I said, well, what does it do? She said, we've never had one before. You make it up. And I went, oh, thank you, God. I've got a chance. And I told Roger my idea, and he said, look, I'm really busy up here at School of Mines, but go for it, I'll back you. And so I literally invited through the international arm of the AAPG, which was really just sort of being born at that stage, every single country in the world. And there were about 200 countries then. We sent it through the UN, we sent it through the World Bank, we sent it directly to their ministers of energy and natural resources, an invitation to come and exhibit their oil and gas potential at the AAPG convention. And the International Pavilion was born. You know, when I look back on it, Robbie Grease and the members of the AAPG believed in me and the idea. And that belief buoyed me up to a vision that was so clear that it happened. And that's a key. I think there is a misunderstanding, and that's a small way to explain it, a misunderstanding about the petroleum industry itself. and therefore our profession gets put into it. So I think that we as professionals, energy professionals, need to actually jump out and be more public, much more public about what we do. Not just that we're custodians of the planet because we love it, that's why we were geologists, but because we actually know the information, we know the facts of where the ancient environment, which was squashed and heated by Mother Nature, which led to the cracking of the hydrocarbons, which led to oil. That is what people don't understand. Environmentalists don't realize we're dealing with an environment, a squashed plant, animal, Mother Nature environment that has come up for us. Now, does the average lady in the street realize that her lipstick comes out of that same hole? Vaseline petroleum jelly we rub on our babies' bottoms has been over 120 years, has been the key staple for both beauty products and the most precious thing in the world, a baby's bottom. So we need to get out there as an industry, as leaders, AAPG, as leaders, and jump right out into the schools, into the public eye, and let them know that we're together on this. It's a combined vision and custodians, all custodians of this planet. The leader actually must walk the talk and inspire and ignite greatness in others. Believe in them. A bit like what the APG did for me at the International Pavilion. You believe in somebody, you see a combined vision, and you've got that alignment, and you can come together as a force that is good for all. And so that's terribly, terribly important. That and it's not just the one person. Leadership actually comes from within, getting to that core of goodness in everybody, that core, that energy in everybody, that is the creativity and the inventiveness. And actually that word energy, that is the energy within us. And we've got the answers, and that's the real energy business that will unite us all. I don't quite know how to explain this actually, but I've seen what life has led me to do with Belize Natural Energy. I get nudges from the big boss all the time, to go further, go out of my comfort zone, to jump out in areas where people are not necessarily comfortable. Wildcatting might be one. So I've seen how it's so important to have that combined vision and ignite that light and energy in everybody. And now what's happening? We've just won the Get Energy Global Award for Localization, which is the educational system at the core of our company. And now it's available to everybody in Belize. Now, that's what I'm talking about, that innovation, that energy, that clarity of mind. That's what's key. And that's what I know I have done. And now to lead the profession, because the AAPG are, and how we're in the Weeks and the Pratt Towers. These are the leaders of our profession. Let's rise to them and say, we're here, we're ready. Wallace said, oil is found in the mind. Well, let's get our minds clear and see the way forward, see that vision, and be everything we can be for our whole profession. The AAPG is a pinnacle of that, and the AAPG, I see, can expand and be much bigger and more global, and here in the United States, both by igniting that energy within.